And this here is Lainey. She's the one I was just talking about that was in quarantine for a while with the pound. She was so amped when I picked her up, playing in the grass and everything. And I named her Lainey after the guitar amplifier. Right there. Good. Nope. She's a little unsure, but not in a super bad way. She's just like not familiar with a lot of things. I don't know how familiar she's going to be with other dogs, but even things like, you know, passing cars on the road or whatever. Not sure if she's figured it out yet. They have. Now she sees it. Typical. Hackles go up a little bit. Pretty much everyone's got them up. Everybody's got a nice relaxed energy. She's a little bit more nervous than the other two. Easy. There we go. I'm just going to let that go. Once they start getting hoppy and going into play gestures, bowing and hops and stuff, you just gotta let it go and see how it goes. But now you see how she relaxed too, like she relaxed her jaw, her mouth is open now. Now you see how I told you that she didn't take him very serious? Who took control of that situation? New dog came in, she did. You should push him out of the way. Oh, Jesus, ouch. The two females, sometimes they can be the worst, you know. It wouldn't be hard though, just Lucy needs to be, you know, told, put in her place before letting her out. But same like always, I'm just gonna let them like get used to each other and tire each other out. They get so exhausted sometimes that it can be uneventful letting them out sometimes. I could take that leash off now too. Oh yeah, she definitely took over. Like I said, when it comes down to it, she's the more dominant one. She's the more confident one. They do make a good pair, though. Lainey, here. Oh, wait. There you go. Good girl. So yeah, these are all good signs, you know. Like I said before, it's been a while since we've had dogs that were just like a little bit more balanced out, you know, a little bit more social, more of a just happy, playful energy. She feels comfortable now. She's backed off a little bit. Guys are a bunch of weirdos. Alright, so yeah, again, we'll let them tire themselves out for a while and get used to each other. Well, as you can see, it's been about 15 minutes and things have slowed down quite a bit. I don't know if she's going to go to the bathroom or what. Yeah, a little bit of a difference from just crashing into my leg and the fence and all that. Hackles are all down, tails are a little bit more relaxed. So what I'm looking for now, obviously from him being the happy humper, I'm looking for a more assertive behavior from her, because that's what I expect from her, based on what we've seen. And her being a little unsure could be a little bit uncomfortable with, say, the mounting or, you know, the forward behavior. So I'm looking for a little bit of maybe competitiveness with that one. She's going to be the one who's most likely going to want to show her who's in charge out here between them. Just before we do this, that's Rufus, that's Lucy, and that's Lainey. Because once they're all a blur, it's going to be a little hard to tell them apart. Here, Lainey, come. Yeah, it just went out there. Whoa. Little too controlling. So she got a little correction for that. Did you see it? We'll just go straight for the vagina. She seems pretty relaxed about that though. I will control the humping, but I can tell you, she's a really good dog. She corrected out of that from one little vibrate. And you see, if you're introducing dogs, like say you got a new dog, maybe you got a dog or two at home and you're bringing a new dog into the family, that's a good way to introduce them. And if you have help, obviously you could do this like face it more, you know, more without the fence in the way introduction with leashes on. you know, let them smell each other and check each other out without it being crazy. But had I just like let them all together without doing the fence first, it would have been a lot more intense. All right, Rufus. Oh. So these dogs all have pretty good energy. So she got that little correction for being, you know, overly assertive like that. And you see how she's backed off and she's being a little bit more cautious. You know, starting to join in the play. It's fine to join in the play, it's just not fine to be like, you know, controlling, dominant type behavior like that. Especially initially, right off in the early stages, that can cause a fight. Everybody's trying to prove themselves right now. So this has turned into a little bit more of a pack mentality where the two dogs are initiating the new one. Which is kind of funny since they barely know each other. Yeah. See that? She gives in to them. See the very high tail with her? The proud stance, standing over top like that. Now, if she were a little bit more unsure, I would have to, you know, correct those two behavior from doing that, because them making her nervous could cause, you know, cause an issue. Sometimes what you'll see in a situation like this is cheap shots. Two dogs are playing and one dog creeps up behind the other one, just kind of takes a nip in the ass or in the side or something like that. Everybody's getting pretty tired, so this should start to wind down in a little bit. Mr. Rufus feeling like quite the ladies' man all of a sudden. No, over here, dum-dums. There you go. Water could be a resource that causes guarding. Well, that was pretty good. She didn't want no trouble, so she just moved out of the way. Dum-dum head here. He tries to hog it. Free chance to get in the vagina. No. Now her laying down and her approaching and going over the top or anything, I would look out for that too. such a retard. Yeah, so she wasn't going to accept that, but she was a little bit like understanding and cautious of it, so her approach was very like looking for that permission. Rufus. See, they're doing it again. No. Rufus. Just want to calm them down a little bit. That is so funny. They got a little bond going. They're working in unison. And this is pretty good so far between all three of them even. There's been no corrections. Other than a little bit of a gesture, but no like vocal or mouth type corrections. This is funny, letting it be known that she's the Cheesemo. Now, if she tries to do any kind of over-the-top behavior with her, you know, with Lucy, Lucy may not accept that. You know what I mean? If Lainey tries to prove herself or something, with him it would be fine because he's just a moron. He's more of a submissive, playful energy type. What's really good is Lucy here, she's really submissive towards me. She corrects very easily. So if she is going to be like the Cheesemo out here, and I have complete control over her, then that definitely helps. Yeah, sometimes you're more... Hey! I don't know which one it is. You know, sometimes the more dominant dog in a group is a little harder to control, a little bit more, you know, over the top dominant. But you notice how, like, the interest went from Lucy to the new dog? So it's not necessarily sexual, it's more of a social interaction, really. Oh, don't step in that. Here comes the pissing contest. Oh, right in her face. Oh my god. Dude. She got a little vibrate for paying attention to the cat area. See what I mean? She corrects really easily. The whole demeanor change, the tail goes level, the ears go back. One little correction, that's it. She mellows out, at least for a little bit anyway. Not Rufus, he's relentless. But I gotta say, for a dog who's been in quarantine for 6 months, you know, since she was, 5 or 6 months old or whatever, she's doing pretty good, because I'm assuming she hasn't had much socializing. You know, just being that she really wasn't understanding of the traffic or the... Even a leash, she was like, what the hell, what is that? She's like, dude, enough already. No. I really like Lucy. She's a good dog. I mean, they're all good dogs, but she has great social skills. If she were a large, confident male with a calmer, you know, a little bit calmer energy, I would definitely take him. You come work with me, huh? See, I like a dog that can use more of its energy than its brute force to, you know, express its dominance. It always works out much better, especially when they're really calm about it. Good girl. Rufus, go ahead. So this is good. You get nice play groups like this. It gives them more time out. They're going to be tired as heck when they go in. You know, I can get 3 dogs out instead of 10 minutes each or something, then they get a half hour. So that works out for them. Rufus, no. Watch out! Oh, Jesus. Well, a lot of people ask if that's real. Yeah, that's real. That's cast iron. This place burned down about, I don't know, 8 or 9 years ago or something. And then they, you know, rebuilt it over a period of a few years. Raised the money and stuff. It's been open about 6 years now. But because of the fire, we get that fire hydrant with the well. It actually works. Rufus is good too because he has just such an even, playful energy between both dogs that he's kind of like the mediator. Oh, Diva, Lucy. Whoa. I don't want a big old monkey pile going on. Well, that works out good. Ooh. Ding dong, don't push her out of the way. A lot of times you'll get to this point and everyone just kind of lays down, takes a rest for a while. Jesus. Rufus, off. I mean, she was actually quite okay with that, but that's usually an earned privilege. You don't want that to start off too soon. There he goes again. So anytime that head goes over the top, that's when you're going to see. He'll start thinking about lifting up the paw, and then before you know it, he latches on. It looks like my battery's about to die on this because I don't know, this camera and my phone are just messed up. Every time I record on my phone, I'm recording in 1080, I'm uploading 1080, and all the videos come out 280. Off! That's too much. Okay. See, I don't know if you noticed it, that little, when she was laying down on the ground, that little, the way she sat up and put her face towards her face was her way of saying, you know, I don't really want you on me right now. Gotta watch them with Harry, especially Rufus, he jumps all over him. He really shouldn't be coming out here in a play group because if he gets them all excited, that can be an issue. Rufus got corrected for jumping on him. She's controlling access to Harry. Okay, puppies. We're all done.